All right. Well, same old, same old. It never ends. Let's just get right into it. Charlotte sports doomed to mediocrity. We'll never win anything. We never get anything nice in our lives. We Nothing good ever happens to us. We never get anything. Everyone's like, "Oh, Charlotte, that's a cute story," but we never win anything. We never get to do anything real. We make it to a Super Bowl. We don't get anything. We don't even make it to the real playoffs. We make it to the fake playoffs year in and year out. We might as well play in Dayton, Ohio every year.
That was
Every
pretty
year.
spot on.
Every year.
Yeah, that was pretty spot on. It just absolutely makes zero sense to me. The Hornets, honestly, the fans have been great this year. Great arena, great uniforms, arguably the best uniforms in the league. Some of the most exciting players in the league, LaMelo, Miles, and they just cannot figure it out to win. Like, if the Hornets were good, it would be one of the most electric teams in the league.
You say that like, oh, best uniforms, best all this. Like, yeah, we get all the cute stuff. We don't get any of the real stuff.
No, 100%. And tonight was just unacceptable. 27-point loss in the play-in tournament last year. And so you're thinking, coming into this game, I was like, okay, the Hornets might lose, sure, but they've been here before. They've been on the road in a playing game. They understand the environment. If you lose, you're out. They did that last year, got shell-shocked a little bit. Surely they would be ready for this year, right? Beat the Hawks, held Trae Young to 9 points in their previous matchup, got absolutely obliterated. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. A lot of it's coaching. The players showed zero effort. Defensive schemes were horrible. I don't know what else to say. It was horrible. It was just hard to watch.
It was awful because the Hawks did not play that well until the third quarter, until we allowed them to play well, where we were playing so bad for so long. Eventually the Hawks were like, all right, we just have to like eventually make these shots. The second quarter was the most frustrating quarter. Even the third quarter wasn't that bad because you just knew it was over at that point. The second quarter you're watching, you're just thinking, okay, they just one more run, just get two consecutive stops for once, or they were just trading bucket for bucket, and whenever they did get a stop, they'd go down, brick a corner three.
Yep, and I don't get why an NBA team has a defensive scheme based on NBA players, and granted, plus 35, 40% three-point shooters missing wide open threes. That's what our defensive scheme depends on. I get the rotations. I get speeding teams up, trying to force turnovers. I get it. Has not worked all year. Has not worked all year. And people can say lack of center, no rim protection. That's all true. But am I wrong in saying if we just played straight man-to-man, maybe a little hedge on the ball screen, but not these crazy switching trap rotations, I don't think we would have lost by 30. There's no way.
I don't know, because it seems like our guys are just so lazy on defense, especially in these big spots. We treat these play-in games, or every big game for that matter, in the regular season too, every national television game and every play-in game, we treat it like it's the second day of a back-to-back and we're in Detroit on a cold night in January.
Van Gundy hit the nail on the head. He was like, the Hornets could come out here and gave a spectacular effort and still lost, and everybody would have been okay with that. He literally said that he was shocked at the lack of effort and the intensity and sense of urgency. Zero sense of urgency in a game. If you lose, you go home. For all that talk that all the players have had, it's just lose or go home, and there's no fight.
And at the end of the day, people are like, oh, Borrego's done a great job. Look, Borrego has done a great job in some respects. At the end of the day, coaching comes down to you got to win those big games, and you got to have your guys at least ready. I mean, if the Hornets were a 6-point dog when it closed, guess what? You lose by 6, 7, 8, whatever. You come out with a real effort. That's fine. Sometimes it's just not your night and you miss shots. They came out with the most piss poor effort I've ever seen. There was no effort on any end of the ball, even on offense. It's just like walking around and they chuck up these floaters.
And to be down single digits at halftime was a blessing. And I was like, okay.
But then we had the momentum going into halftime with Terry. He hit those couple buckets, had an and one. LaMelo hit that. And then all of a sudden, we're up 6. We have the ball. Shot clock's off. Melo decides, all right, I'm going to go in and shoot with 10 seconds left, blow this, give the Hawks another shot, and go into halftime with even more momentum, up 8. And that was over right there. Going into halftime with momentum when you're down is everything.
And coming out of the locker room, I was telling Chip and Alec, I was like, Borrego's either going to coach these guys up, and we're going to come out, tie the game, force a quick Atlanta timeout, or we're going to go down by double digits within a matter of a few minutes. Sure enough, we can instantly go down by 14, 15 points, and it's over at that point. It is over.
Go on.
I was going to say, to get a comeback going in an NBA game like that, you have to be able to get consecutive stops. Because you're an NBA team. You can put the ball in the basket. Anybody can get hot at any given moment. You just have to get consecutive stops. And that brings me to my next point of, The Hornets had 75 points through 3 quarters. I know Kelly Oubre's defense has been lackluster all year. I am not defending that at all. It could not have been much worse than what was already going on. And at least we would have had somebody on the court that could hit a few threes in a row, has that ability to get hot. At least try it. And by the time he got subbed in to start the fourth, it was over. It was a 30-point deficit.
I mean, even try like a JT Thor or Nick Richards or something.
Just something. I don't understand. And Cody Martin has had flashes this year. He was really good before he got COVID. He's had good moments this year. He's obviously improved since last year. Tonight was not his night. He was getting cooked, could not do anything on offense. I don't know why he played what he played. He only played 22 minutes, but he played 22 minutes in the first 35 minutes.
Yeah, and then right when it was I think it was Mark Jackson who was talking about James Borrego said he's always in the right spots and he's always doing the right thing. Immediately right after he said that, he says that he tries to do that alley-oop to Terry Rozier or Kelly.
Oh my God.
I can't remember who
it was. It was Oubre, and he just threw it out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then McDaniels played 26 minutes, which oh my gosh, McDaniels has also played better, but 26 minutes in a playing game. Meanwhile, Montrezl Harrell gets 16.
Let me ask you something. Who would you rather have more minutes? Be honest, Jalen McDaniels or JT Thor?
See, originally I would say JT Thor just because McDaniels was horrible to start the year, but he did pick it up near the end of the year. So I'm not upset that he was in the rotation because the way he was playing well at the time. It's not like he's been sucking and Borrego just left him in. He did pick it up at the end of the year, but I don't think he's picked it up enough to play 26 minutes and a win or go home.
Okay, let's hit the points here. Look, we got blown out by 29. If you didn't watch the game, Hornets lost by 29, 132-103.
Horrible.
Awful performance. Got outscored by almost 20 in the third quarter. Let's talk about this first. Should Borrego get another year, yes or no? Because I know it's a tough question because you think he's done this well. We did improve by 10 games from last year. It just sucks that the East got better. But at the end of the day, you ended up in the exact same spot.
We did not improve by 10 games. The season was shortened last year to 72. So you have to take that into account. So everybody can look at we did get 10 more wins, but it was in more games. So take that for what it's worth. I don't think he can because I know the Eastern Conference, the top of the Eastern Conference is not as good as it has been. There was a lot of teams in the mid-tier. Everything was really close. I'm not mad we found ourselves in the play-in tournament. But the fact of the matter is, last year, 10 seed in the play-in tournament after being 6, 7, 8 most of the year, dropped to 10, lost by 30. This year, 7, 8, 9 most of the year, maybe a little higher sometimes, dropped to 10 the last few weeks of the season, lost by 30 in the play-in game. When is enough going to be enough? I don't think the Hornets are the 10th most talented team in the East. I think they're above that. It obviously sucks Gordon Hayward's out with an injury, but that's got to be dealt with too. I mean, Borrego, once again, knew they were going to play the Hawks, had all this time to prepare. The Hornets blasted them the last time they played them. I just don't get it. And the Hawks are a tough team, but to come out there and lose by 30 and have no sense of urgency, some of that has to be coaching. It's just the little things, jumping at stupid shot fakes. It's just, I don't get it. It's just a lot.
We mentioned this to David Glenn. We were talking about whether Kevin Keats should come back. And the main thing that a fan base has to have is hope. Look at the Chicago Bears for years. They were terrible, mediocre, had awful quarterbacks. They're running out there with backup Nick Foles. Mitch Trubisky was terrible. But then they bring in Justin Fields and everybody's got hope. That's what matters in sports is for your fan base to sell tickets, to sell everything is hope. James Borrego, it's no hope. Do you see a world where we actually make the real playoffs with James Borrego? I don't ever see it.
No, and that's what I was going to say is Borrego is not the guy to take this team to the next level. We've had this conversation many times. I wrote a whole article about it. Yeah, it's so clear. For whatever reason, he cannot get his team up for these playing games, and I don't understand it. Every big game, like you said, the Hornets treat it like it's a preseason game. It's unreal. There's zero intensity. And I don't know if that's on the players. I think it's more on the coach than anything. If he gets another year, I'd be shocked. It just sucks that the Hornets signed him to a multi-year extension right before this year. It shocked me.
Two things we should touch on. Two things with Miles Bridges, actually. So 3 things. One, okay. Miles Bridges, should he get paid this summer? Should the Hornets pay him?
I think he deserves to get paid, although his game tonight did not help his case. 12, 4, and 4 on 5 of 11 shooting. He didn't take that many shots. He wasn't as aggressive.
Next question going all along with that is, did you see him throw the mouthpiece or whatever at the fan?
I did. So let me preface this by saying I think Miles Bridges should get paid. I don't know if he should get the max, but I think the Hornets should pay him almost what he wants. I think it's worth it, the improvement he's shown. Secondly, I did see him lose his cool. I did see the mouthpiece. It nailed that little girl in the face. Did you see that?
I didn't see it hit the
video.
little girl. I couldn't see it clearly.
It hit her right in the face. He actually, Miles Bridges just went on Twitter. This is about 30 minutes after the game ended. He just went on Twitter and said, somebody get me in contact with this young lady. Like, what I did was unexacceptable. He just tweeted that. And there's a video that clear.
It's the number one video on ESPN I'm looking at right now.
It clearly hit her in the face.
Yeah, I did. Yikes. I mean, that's a $200K fine. I mean, obviously, that's not a good look. I don't think that should determine whether he gets paid a lot or not.
No, not at all. I mean, you're down by 30. You just can't lose your cool like that. The refs were not great all night, but that's not what we lost by 30. So, like, he can be mad all he wants to, but
yeah, I mean, the refs, schmefs, it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, the Hornets had every single chance to take that game. That's why, like, the Hawks are going to get destroyed by the Heat.
They have to beat Cavs first.
Yeah, exactly. Whoever wins that game, I think the Heat win 4-0, 4-1, actually.
Really? Because I think as a Hornets fan, I would rather play the Heat than the Celtics. I don't know if that goes for, like, if we somehow win the playoffs, but
see, the thing is, like, this Atlanta team, I feel like a more well-coached team going against this Atlanta team would have just taken that game over. Atlanta just keeps leaving these games wide open, and we had our chance. We had our chance the whole time in the first half. Just take the game, and we just didn't. Nobody cared on that floor. Nobody besides PJ Washington.
I texted you before the game. I said, if the Hornets go down, I don't see a comeback happening. That's exactly what happened. It was just crazy. PJ played really well. I think after the trade deadline, when he realized he wasn't getting traded, he really picked up his play, and that was great for us. Something's got to happen with Hayward. He can't be getting paid $35 million to sit the last 30 games of the year and miss the play-in tournament. I just don't understand that.
One other thing that we'll touch on, and then we'll move on. You see the video of LaMelo smoking weed before the game?
I sent it. I think I sent it to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was you or someone else.
That was okay. So I did a little digging on that. Actually, apparently that video surfaced over the summer. It wasn't like before the game tonight.
That's what I assumed, because I was like, that's too easy a timing. But
no, it was over the summer. Somebody brought it out tonight and like tried to make it seem like
still funny.
I mean, hilarious. Did you also see the Hornets bus got like blocked by a train and they had to walk into the arena?
And then James Borrego tried to claim we're going to use it as fuel.
Did he say that? I missed that.
It's one of the local Charlotte reporters tweeted that out.
Oh my God. Well, how'd that fuel work out?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just depressing. It's literally depressing.
And it's just the state of all, like, just Charlotte sports in general. Ironically, the team I thought was going to be a dumpster fire this year, Charlotte FC, is actually not bad.
Yeah, and it's their first year.
Yeah, it's their first year. They're not bad. And then meanwhile, the Panthers are a joke. We're sitting here talking about Kenny Pickett going at 6, which I think is ridiculous. But that's an episode for another day. And then we'll just never have nice things. We'll never have championships. We'll never have anything, you know? And then this leads right in, like, we'll never even get a play-in win. But the Timberwolves get one.
Yeah, the Timberwolves made the playoffs. Well, they made it with Jimmy Butler, but still, it's just like when you say that out loud, like, Timberwolves are in the playoffs. Hornets lose by 30 in the playing game. Like, that just sounds disgusting. It sounds gross. Like, what has Charlotte done to deserve that?
I don't know, dude, but it feels like there's a curse on us. But
it does. Doomed to eternal mediocrity.
I didn't get to see the Timberwolves game live. I passed out last night watching it. And then I woke up at like 1 a.m. and saw all the stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wild. I mean, it was
hilarious.
People were going nuts. Like, they shouldn't be celebrating this, or this is stupid that they're celebrating being a 7 seed. And then other people were chirping back saying that you should be able to celebrate what you want. I do think Pat Bev went way over the top there. But, like, I mean, if I was at a Hornets game and we made the playoffs, I'm going bananas.
I was about to say, I would rather, if the Hornets won tonight, I'd rather them celebrate like that and get on this announcer's table and pump their chest and everything, rather than come out there and lose by 30 with zero energy. At least it meant something to the Timberwolves. They had that intensity. They had that win or go home mentality. One game to get into the playoffs. They love their chances. Gosh, I mean, I would take that 100 times out of 100 over what the Hornets did.
Yeah,
and it was over the top, but still, you take that.
Who cares? Like, who cares?
Exactly. Don't be a hater of fun.
The thing is, they're playing against the Grizzlies, which, say what you want about the Grizzlies, yes, they've been great. I think that's going to be a good series. That's going to be a sneaky good series where I feel like that's an NBA TV series, though.
Yeah. That's like, that's a weird series. There's not like
that first Monday night of the playoffs where there's that They have the 3 games, they have the 2 TNT games or whatever. And they have that one that sneaks in there at like 7:30 on NBA TV that you forget about.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like that series will be closer than most people think. The Grizzlies were killer during the regular season, but the intensity's amped up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think this is going to be a great playoffs. Anything else before we run through the playoff bracket?
Not entirely. Oh, I will say one thing about the Nets Cavs game. I know people have said it all year long, like nobody wants to play the Nets. I really think they have a good shot to like win a series.
So I'll listen to people like NBA people and stuff, and they'll be freaking out being like, oh, the Nets, they don't have it and all this. They can't string together these games. Like, yeah, you've been watching them in the regular season, but these guys can turn it on in the playoffs. Like, these guys have proven they can win titles. Like, Kyrie hit possibly the biggest shot in NBA history. Yeah. And you're saying he can't just turn it on all of a sudden? I don't know if they can do it just because someone else has got to step up consistently on that Nets team. They have to have a Bruce. I mean, but is Bruce
Brown 18-9-8? He had 18-9-8 last night. Just saying.
Is he going to do that every? I mean, they have to have someone every game to do that.
Because if they can get a Bruce Brown to do it 1 or 2 games in a series, and then maybe a Patty Mills or a Seth Curry to hit 6 threes in a game or something like that, like that'll take them over the top. But the fact of the matter is, it's hard to see that being a surefire thing just because they were so inconsistent, so many injuries. You don't know if Simmons is going to play. Apparently, he's going to play in the first round if they have it. Like, there's been rumors about that. Like, who knows? There's so many variables with them. But if you're the Boston Celtics, you've got to be terrified that's your first round matchup. You make an insane run, get the 2 seed, and you're playing Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in the first round.
And the thing is, they wanted that matchup. They played to win in the Memphis game. They didn't bench their guys.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
So, I mean, kind of credit to them because they didn't wuss out of the game. Yeah. But at the same time, if I'm a Celtics fan, I'm like, I would have rather played the Bulls.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
All right, let's get into the playoffs. Let's start off. I'm just looking at the schedule right now. Let's see here. So the first game on Saturday is Jazz Mavericks. We can talk about just the series in general. We don't have to go through, a specific game. Jazz Mavs. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. The Mavs are going to win this series 4-1, 4-2, and then we're going to see all offseason Donovan Mitchell trade rumors and everything he wants out. He's going to do this whole thing in blackball Utah. Him or Rudy Gobert are for sure gone this offseason. I can guarantee that.
I think that happens anyways, unless they somehow make a Western Conference Finals run. Even if they win the first round, I still think that's the case.
But I think it's going to explode here in this first round.
You don't think that even with Luka out with an injury, like they're playing his status very close to the vest. I don't know if he even plays game 1, and he'll obviously be not 100% for the series. You still think the Mavs have enough?
Yeah. I don't
really.
If Luka is playing at all in this series, if Luka is playing 4 or 5 games, I still think the Mavs win, even if he's not 100%. Oh, this Jazz team is gross.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless there's a flip that gets switched or Donovan Mitchell plays complete FQ ball and just goes bananas. I just don't see it with this team.
A flip that gets switched. That was a good one.
Whatever,
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I can see it going either way. That's one of those series. It's just like,
yeah. It's one of those because it's the first game on Saturday. You're excited, like, ooh, NBA playoffs. Second quarter, like, all right, kind of tired. Kind of tired of these Mike Conley threes.
I can do something else till there's 8 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. Jazz Mavs. What's your prediction for the series? I'm going 4-2 Mavs.
Give me Mavs 4-3.
You think it goes to 7?
I think it does go 7. I think the Jazz jump out early, win the first game or 2.
I'm going to try and hit game 3. I'm excited.
That should be good, honestly.
I've never been to an NBA playoff game.
Me either. No, I wonder why. You know why? Because there's none in Charlotte.
Exactly, yeah. Finally, I'm not in Charlotte anymore. I get to go to a playoff game, but
yeah,
it's not for my sweet, sweet Hornets. We talked about them before. Timberwolves, Grizzlies. I think 4-2 Grizzlies, but
I think that's fair. I think 4-2 Grizzlies. I'm also going to go with that. I think the Timberwolves maybe even win game 1 and everybody starts talking. But I think the Grizzlies have enough depth and Ja's good enough now. Unless Pat Bev just completely shuts him down, I don't think that'll happen. But I do think the Grizzlies will pull this out. I think it'll be closer than people think, though.
Yeah, I think those are going to be some fun games. I think we're going to see some a lot of technical fouls in these.
There'll be some chippiness because you saw like Pat Bev's been tweeting at the Grizzlies all year long, and then Josh said something last night like they love talking about me. And it'll be intense for sure. If Desmond Bane and Dylan Brooks can keep up what they're doing though, and Jaren Jackson,
unbelievable. I mean, defensive player of the year possibly.
If they can do what they did in the regular season, oh my gosh. And Cat had a horrible game last night. I don't think D'Angelo Russell's going to put up 30 again. Anthony Edwards is very inconsistent, very hot and cold. I don't think they can win 4 games out of 7.
Raptors, Sixers.
The Raptors are kind of the real deal, but they really only have 5 players.
That's my thing. The Raptors are a regular season team. As much as like people are gonna be like, oh yeah, they can, Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is a great coach. I'm not saying that. Like, I would kill to have Nick Nurse in Charlotte. The fact that he took this team to the 5 seed.
Yeah.
When they were
unbelievable.
They were terrible in the beginning of the season. They're a 5 seed, but I could see this going to 7. I think the Sixers turn off because a lot of people are picking the Raptors to beat the Sixers.
Well, Tybal cannot play in Toronto.
I see. And I mean, I guess that obviously that helps the Raptors case, but I just think the Sixers are too talented. And at the end of the day, talent's really going to win in the playoffs.
No, that's my thought process. I honestly think if Harden comes out and picks it up, he's been horrible the last couple of weeks. If he picks it up, they might win 4-1 because the Raptors really only have 5 players is what it is. And Fred VanVleet since the All-Star break has been horrible. I don't know if he's had a nagging injury. He's been sitting out random games. Like he'll sit out 2 or 3 games at a time for what? I don't even know. OG Anunoby's been in and out of the lineup. There's been too many shuffling pieces. I don't think the Raptors have enough depth or talent to make a dent against the Sixers. I'm going 4-1. I'm going 4-1.
I think I'm going to go pretty chalk on most of this. Let's move on. Nuggets, Warriors. I like Warriors 4-1. I don't think the Nuggets have enough.
I agree. And I think
let Jokic go off for 35, 15, and 15. Who else is going to score? I mean,
Jokic will carry them to 1 game just because like a Will Barton or an Aaron Gordon will have like 25 randomly or like a Monte Morris.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's not gonna be a close
series.
series.
It's like 5 threes for some reason.
Yeah. Bones Highland hits like never mind.
Bones Highland. Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm not.
Give me Warriors 4-1 there too. I don't think that's close.
This is an interesting one before we close or before we get into others. I don't think there's a single sweep this year in the first round.
I was thinking the same thing. I really don't think there is. The only one I could maybe see, the Suns. Yeah.
Whoever the Suns play is going to be a sweep, I think.
That it would be the one I would say.
Because let's be honest, winner of Pelicans Spurs. Do you really see, unless Zion comes back? If Zion comes back, that's a sneaky series, even though he probably won't come back, but.
No, I don't think so.
During the middle of the Hornets game, all of a sudden there's a video of him doing a 360 windmill dunk in warmups.
They're talking about him like he's 50 years old, though. Like he's 21. They're like, oh, he still's got the bounce. Of course he does.
Did you hear Stephen A. Smith during halftime?
What'd he say?
He was freaking out, being like, this is an abomination to the NBA Basketball Association, all this, saying that.
Because the video?
Well, did you see the one that came out during? Saw the one that just came out during halftime, right? Of him
dunking. Yes.
Yeah. So him in warmups, and then Stephen A. Smith was like, because they declared him he's hurt. He's like, he's clearly not hurt. He can play right now. It's like obviously he can.
That's not the same as, but he's not like game shape. He hasn't been doing 5-on-5. Like doing
he has been doing 5-on-5. That's the thing.
Really?
Yeah, he's been cleared and playing 5-on-5. I think he's healthy. It seems a little sketchy what's going on. It sounds like they are preparing for a trade.
Okay, but if the Pelicans beat the Spurs right now, game's on right now, and if they beat the Clippers, do they play him in the first round? I think they do. If that's like a possibility,
have to, right?
If it's a possibility, you're the Pelicans. You don't know if you're getting back to the playoffs.
They're up 9 in the second quarter right now.
Yeah.
You would have to. I mean,
yeah.
Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Zion could make a run at Phoenix. I'm not saying they would win. They could make a run for 1 or 2 games.
They have some good pieces on that team. Herb Jones is good. Devontae Graham off the bench is pretty good. Jose Alvarado, Jackson Hayes is playing better. Valanciunas is an NBA starting
Trey
center.
Murphy is great.
They have a squad.
Yeah, and Herb Jones is he's just like the not great value, but he's just like a Lou Dort reincarnated this year.
Glue guy, yeah.
But I don't know. I hope Zion gets. It's a
I mean, that would be cool.
Like if you're the Hornets, like let's trade for Zion.
What are we giving up though? LaMelo,
Gordon,
the Pelicans aren't going to do that.
Gordon, and picks.
I mean, I'd give up Gordon, Terry, and 10 first-round picks, but it's not happening.
I would give up Gordon, someone else, and like 3 first-rounders. 4 first-rounders.
Because clearly something's not working. Hornets have lost 2 playing tournaments in a row, so Zion could big asterisk if he stays healthy and all that stuff. Generational player.
Would the Hornets be the most exciting team to watch if Zion's on
yes,
there? Like, I don't think it's even close. Like right
not
now,
even close.
Not like the Warriors of late. When the Warriors are peaking, I think they're the most fun team to watch in the NBA. And then I think the Hornets are second, to be honest. If they had Zion every night as must watch TV, they would be ESPN every night.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't think our defense will get any kind of better. It would be the same thing.
We're giving up 120 a game.
Oh my gosh, that would be the exact same thing.
We're playing
so many problems there.
They're playing 2-3 zone the whole game.
God.
Okay, let's move on. Nets Celtics. This is gonna be this is the number 1 series of the first round. This is the marquee one.
Is Robert Williams playing?
I believe he's out for I know he's out for first game. I'm pretty sure. I'm looking it up right now.
I think this one might go 7.
I think so too. And in a game 7, you're telling me you're going against Kevin Durant?
No, I got the Nets in 7, especially if it goes 7. I got the Nets.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also, we were talking about this earlier. Like Kyrie, someone else has to go off for the Nets. Kyrie's not going to start off 12 for 12 in every game.
No,
and they almost choked that Cavs game. You got to remember.
They do look vulnerable.
No team, but the thing is, no team right now in the NBA doesn't look vulnerable.
What a storyline it would be if somehow the Nets made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, played the Sixers, Ben Simmons comes back,
and just no way he would not come back, dude. This is that's even a weirder situation than Zion.
They've put him on every playoff graphic, so everybody's speculating like he's going to come back at some point, maybe even game 1.
That would be awesome. I'm not going to.
I feel like the plan was if.
But why would you bring him back in the playoffs? Bring him back with 2 games left in the regular season, so nobody cares.
That's what I thought, but I feel like the plan was if they lose in the play-in, then obviously not going to play the season. But if they make the playoffs, then you might as well.
I guess, but it looks like Woj tweeted out that there's a real chance he returns.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to play. That's huge for the Celtics.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna go Nets in 7 too.
I think Nets in 7. Yep.
Like what Jason Tatum has done this year is unbelievable. He's first team All NBA.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Like the Celtics,
there's something about it. I just don't trust at the end of games. Still, like they've been great at the end of games just in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's when different. I see in the playoffs when you see Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant, who you picking? That's what it comes down to in these NBA
Kevin
playoffs.
Durant. And who'd you rather have as a second option, Kyrie or Jaylen Brown? Kyrie.
Exactly. Kevin Durant's the number 1 player in the league. Like,
who would you rather have as a third option, Marcus Smart or Seth Curry? Seth Curry's been a little, weird lately, but I'm still taking Seth Curry.
Marcus on offense. Yeah, if I need to stop, I'm obviously taking Smart. But if I need a shot, I'm probably taking Seth Curry.
Yeah, it's literally just a matter of if the Nets role players can step up and contribute, or they can get a third guy. Because Drummond's playing pretty well, but he doesn't play over 20 minutes a game.
No, and nor should he. Bulls Bucks. This might be a sweep.
I got Bucks 4-1 just because I think DeRozan maybe has like 51 games. Levine's clearly playing hurt. The Bulls just falling apart.
Yeah, it's Bucks 4-0, Bucks 4-1. That's another NBA TV series.
Yeah, I agree. And everybody's underestimating the Bucks. They'll wipe the Bulls, and that gives them a good chance in the next round to get some rest. And then it'll be Bucks Nets again, maybe.
And we already talked about Suns Pelicans. That's going to be a sweep. And then what is the other game? We did
the
Grizzlies T-Wolves. And so the last one is the Heat versus the Hawks. Or the Hawks or the Cavs. Cavs, it's going to be 4-0, 4-1 Heat. Hawks, I think it's 4-1, 4-2 Heat.
I agree. I think the Cavs maybe beat the Hawks, though, to get in. I don't know, though. I don't know. I think either way it's 4-1, 4-2.
Yeah.
It's really dependent on if Jared Allen can come back, especially in that Heat series. If they make the playoffs against the Heat, they have to have Jared Allen have any kind of chance.
Do you have any fun watching the Heat? Because I don't.
No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting basketball.
It's
Screw Jimmy
gross.
Butler. I don't care about PJ Tucker. Yay.
There's a lot of teams that I'm looking in these playoffs. I'm like, I really don't like watching you that much.
And you know how I feel about Kyle Lowry. Cannot stand. Actually,
I'm gonna mute my mic.
I'm out. Time out. Tonight, the game was already decided. Hornets down 25, whatever. LaMelo nails a corner three. 3 or 4 minutes of the game go by. 3 or 4 game minutes go by. All of a sudden, the PA announcer on the Hawks says, breaking news, LaMelo Ball's three-pointer, his foot was out of bounds, so the 3 does not count. They take it off the board 5 game minutes later. That would have had us a win. That would have had us in the 8 seed if that rule was in place whenever we played the Heat and Lowry was 2 feet over the line. I can't believe it. That cost us 2 seats, cost us hosting a playing game. That one single call. It's come back to buy us 3 games since then. It's unreal. Cursed. Am I wrong though? Like, did you see that? Like,
yeah, no,
same situation?
In the Heat game, it literally made all the difference. Every Hornets fan and that's the thing with like being a Hornets fan. Whenever you tweet and ever you like talk about the Hornets, nobody could care less about you.
No,
it's like you're tweeting into existence, and NBA Twitter is just like the Hornets.
That literally cost the Hornets a game, and that one game would have boosted them to the 8 seed.
100%. And
oh my God, it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Hey, rules for me, but not for thee.
It just hurts to watch, dude. I mean, the game was already over. It's just the point.
Yeah. As your playoff prediction change at all? Who's gonna be in the finals for you?
I don't even remember what I said.
I don't remember what I said either.
I think I said at the very beginning of the year, Nets Suns. Or maybe I didn't say Suns. No, I didn't say Suns.
I definitely said Nets Warriors.
I might have said.
I think I'm still gonna ride with that. That's what I want. If I look at each conference and I say, who do I want to see in the finals? I want to see Nets Warriors. I think that'd be an amazing finals.
You're gonna hate me for saying this.
What, Grizzlies, Bucks?
I think it's Bucks Suns again.
I think it's Bucks Suns again too. That has to be I'm sure if you went on FanDuel or like Barstool Sportsbook, looked up finals matchups, it looks like it's going to be that.
And that's just gross.
The thing is, I don't really trust the Warriors right now.
I don't either. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? And Clay's been playing better, but still.
Is Jordan Poole the next NBA MVP?
Can he continue to do that in the playoffs? Maybe. I still think it's Bucks Suns.
I do too. Last thing we'll touch on, low college basketball.
Yeah, let's get it.
Armando Bacot staying. Not really a shocking news. I mean, NIL is saving college basketball blue bloods. Like, it is saving them because
100%.
Armando Bacot's coming back. It's appearing that Lee Key and Caleb Love are coming back.
Yep.
It seems like Caleb Love might declare but maintain his college eligibility and come back.
That's what I'm thinking. And the thing is, with this NIL deals and the money you can make in college now, it's making these projected like higher second rounders, like guys that would, probably sit high second round, mid second round. It's making them stay in college instead of go to the league for a chance at the money because they know they can get that money with NIL. Like Armando Bacot probably would have gone like mid second round, maybe higher second round.
And you're playing in the G League. You're not playing in the NBA.
And you're not getting any guaranteed money if you're outside the first round. Meanwhile, you can be in college, run it back with the same guys. You're like comfortable situation, get another chance to improve your draft stock, another year working out,
And the biggest thing is brand exposure. Like, it sounds cringy. Everyone's like, build your brand, like, whatever. But I mean, you really do. Like, think about how many people were watching that Carolina Duke game and saw Armando Bacot's face, saw Armando Bacot killing Duke, and And so why would you not stay anymore? Because we're going to see Duke. It seems like at least, Jeremy Roach is going to be staying. Yep. It really seems like Trevor Keels and maybe Wendell Moore stay too. Oscar Tshiebwe, I'm never going to say it right. He's going to, don't stop.
I'm not.
No. He's staying too. And he was the National Player of the Year. But weak National Player of the Year at that.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
People are saying,
go ahead.
Bacot's going to be the National Player of the Year preseason pick for sure.
I was thinking that, and it's going to be hilarious that if Bacot, knock on wood, I knocked that time. If he does win National Player of the Year, then that number 5 jersey will be retired, and that's just hilarious because, like, in Carolina basketball history, number 5 has been just about all point guards up to like Nasir Little a couple years ago, like Ty Lawson, Forte, Cody, all these people, and they just never gotten retired. And then
Ty
now,
Lawson was 5, wasn't he?
yeah, but he didn't
I
get his
thought
jersey
he was.
retired.
I just think of him as 3.
No, he was 5.
Huh.
And there's been like a lot of great point guards, number 5 in Carolina history, just haven't met that requirement to get their jersey retired. It's gonna be hilarious. Like the first big man to ever wear it, like has a chance to get it retired. I don't know. It's just funny.
Duke Carolina is going to be great next year. Like, I mean, obviously, I over exaggerate on his dark days after the Duke game. Blah 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 blah. It's going to be unbelievable. I mean, with guys like Dariq Whitehead and Jeremy Roach, Derek Lively, Trevor Keels possibly coming back and playing against Carolina, literally running it back. Plus, probably, yeah. I'm assuming you guys get at least 1 or 2 grad transfers.
I think so too. And that's the thing. We talked about the rivalry. Like, you were pretty down on the dump saying it's dead. It's not dead. The only thing that really died in that game is like the argument between fans. Like that's kind of like the ultimate trump card. But the actual quality of the basketball games and the intensity, that's not going to go down at all. Like that's a fact. It's not going to go down. ESPN's still going to promote it. Carolina Duke's going to be a huge event. Like that's not going to go down.
Yeah, and it's nice not having the shadow of Coach K this next year.
I think Duke will be better than people think just because, like, there was so much pressure on Duke this year. Coach K's retirement tour, like, you saw it in his last game at Cameron. Like, there wasn't a lot of focus on the actual game at all or the players. I think that'll be a big burden lifted off them for next year.
But, all right, that's it. We will be back on Tuesday. We have interviews coming up very soon. Make sure to check out CarterCast.com. Watch full video podcasts on there as well. Check out the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on all social media. You know what to do. CarterCast.com and CarterCast on social media. And we will see y'all Tuesday. Bye.